Hello, welcome back. In today's video, I have Spotify. As I smacked myself in the face with my computer. We are going to run through some underrated songs. Some songs that I've picked up over the past however many years of listening that are underrated and not universally known. Most people do not know these songs, and there are some that I think I can venture to say nobody knows. I'm sure someone's gonna comment and be like, I heard that song. I know that song. You lied. But I guarantee you, if you're in the car with like 5 people and you pull out one of these songs, chances are they're not gonna know these songs. So we're gonna go in order. I'm gonna start from the least amount of plays to the most amount of plays. Some of these songs have in the millions of streams, yet no one talks about them. And some of the lowest ones have 4,000 streams. So I've got my kombucha. What's this one called? Island Bliss. Really good. And we're just gonna chill out, talk about some songs. Per usual, I'm gonna put the Spotify codes here as we talk about them. Unfortunately, I cannot play the music. I'll get copyright striked, so can't do that. I have ads on my channel. Help me pay my student loans. So the first song we're going to talk about is called Time Has Other Plans by Paul Spring. The cover of this is this trippy, I just played it. Like person playing a flute painting. It's a painting of a person playing a flute. And there's like sheep and skulls. I do not know the context of this song. The song is like very indie to the point where it feels like, you know what I mean? It's like this unspoken thing where like when you go too far down indie, it feels like, I don't know. But despite the random stuff I was just saying, this song is very dynamic. It uses so many different instruments and it's kind of enchanting. And it sounds oddly similar to Justin Timberlake, like his 2000s album Future Sex Love Sounds. The song builds on itself. Do not sleep on this song until you listen to it all the way through. And then you're not going to be able to get it out of your head because you've never heard anything like it. I've heard kind of like pop iterations of this type of thing, and Justin Timberlake does come to mind, but this is very unlike anything you've ever heard. And yeah, so this one has, ready? 4,000 streams. So no one will know that. Next up is the song Sun City Lights by Molnet. This song is really nice. It sounds like a vacation summer song, kind of retro, very simple, nice melodies, a good driving to the beach song. Very layered vocals. It sounds like Delwater Gap mixed with the Beatles. Next up is the song Reptile by Rick Grove. Rick Grove has a really strong sense of himself as an artist, and you hear it in his music. It's not like he's trying to become, the number one TikTok dance or TikTok trend in the world. It's music. So check him out. His music kind of sounds like M83, Midnight City a little bit like Tame Impala, but more rock. But not rock in the sense of like, is it this? But in the sense of like alt rock, like easy listening rock, like an alt rock radio station that people listen to when they work, but cooler. I just got secondhand embarrassment from that. Did I give myself the ick? Oh gosh. Let me look at the credits on that. I just got goosebumps from listening to that towards the end. Performed by Rick Grove, written by Eric Grove, which I'm assuming is Rick Grove. And then there was a producer on this, but it was a great song. Check it out, Reptile, from the album Reasons. Next up is the song Lighter Thief by Maty Noyes. Maty Noyes is a great underrated artist who's been in the music industry for a while. I had the chance to see her at a Ones to Watch event. You might know some of her songs. She has a song called Say It to My Face. That song will get stuck in your head. It'll just be like, but this song is called Lighter Thief, and it came out a few weeks ago. It has 30,000 streams. She's no longer with the label. This is her first self-published song, as far as I know, and I think it's really well done. It also has kind of a 90s way of storytelling in the lyrics where it kind of reminds me of like, well, this isn't 90s, I think this is 2000s, but Picture by Kid Rock and Sheryl Crow. The melodies in this song were really well done. There's also this like sound in the beginning that sounds like vinyl. This song's fire. I'm really fire, get it? Lighter Thief, fire. Do you see the iron? There's an iron behind me because I have to iron things for work. All right, next is what song? Speed Racer by Teenage Dads. This one I found when I was looking for my New Music Friday top 5. Every week I do extensive research on Spotify of all of the new music. I listen to like hundreds and hundreds of songs, and this is one I found, and I really, 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 really liked this song. It sounded like The Strokes to me, which is like, you really can't get any better when it comes to alternative music. I mean, no, don't quote me on that. I don't want someone in the comments to be like, like so and so is a nepo baby from the Strokes and blah blah blah. Don't. I think the Strokes make great music. I think Julian Casablancas is phenomenal. And this has that intangible quality that the Strokes has in their music. But yeah, Speed Racer sounds like the Strokes, very similar production, fire. It sounds lo-fi but controlled to where it sounds clear. Next is this song. Ooh, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Starstudded by Malcom Todd. When I found this song, I think I was the first listen on this song in the summer of last year. This song sounds like a night drive in the summer. Like me and my siblings, when we drove home from the beach in the summer, we would listen to Starman by David Bowie. Very similar. This could fit on that playlist. There was like Starman, there was Are We Still Friends by Tyler, the Creator, and then we've got Star-Studded by Malcom Todd. And it's from the album Demos Before Prom. He's really young. I think he's like, I don't know, high school age. Really good song. And this one has, how many now? 82,000. But when I first found it, it had 1 stream, and that was me. Next, Incapable Heart by Q. This one's picking up in Steam. This one was similar where it had very few streams when I first found it. I did find it looking for New Music Friday. This one has 170,000 streams now. This song, very well done because I think it's very common now for people to try to mimic certain decades of music. And this one was not to hop on the trend. This one definitely felt like it was part of Q's vision when doing this. It's soulful. It's kind of got this like 80s Phil Collins. It's kind of got this Phil Collins type of vibe to it, but modern at the same time. And it blends other genres together in a very nice way. And this one also has strong summer potential. I don't know where, like if you're at like a barbecue, like a fun one, not like a Grill Dad family one, but like a beach party barbecue, you could put this on. Next, I gotta be careful about how I enunciate this. Sofa Space King. Say that fast and you'll understand why it's called that. So it's Sofa Space King, like space, like not space like woo like UFO, but like space, like space bar. All right, well, Sofa King by Royel Otis. Royel Otis has been killing the game this year. I found them earlier this year with their song I Wanna Dance With You, and I was like, that song probably has millions now, but It's another underrated one, but I think it's a little bit too far out of the realm. I think people might start to know that song soon. What I really like about this is I think it's a band of two people and they harmonize in a very interesting way. The layered vocals are nice. The music in the background is very summery. This would be a good song for your summer playlist. Driving. Okay, so this one actually has 1.5 million streams now. That's a lot, but no one knows that song. If you looked at your friend Joe, do you have a friend Joe? I don't even know if I have a friend Joe. Do I? I don't know. But if you looked at your friend Joe and said, "Hey Joe, do you know the song Sofa King by Royel Otis?" And then I guarantee you he'll be like, "No." And then you'll be like, you know? Next up, we're getting into the millions here. We have 7 million streams on this one. Navy Blue by Charlotte Lawrence. One of my all-time favorite songs for production. This song sounds like Travis Scott, Kanye West, but it's done for pop. And it's a song that has a nice progression to it. Not necessarily a chord progression, but just a progression in the song where it builds off of itself. It's very simple in its lyrics and stuff, but it really like pulls you into this like cinematic universe. I love it. And it's controlled lo-fi again. Like, can I coin a new phrase? Faux-fi? It's like faux lo-fi. Fake low quality. Like this was probably recorded on like a $10,000 microphone, but it was made to sound like it was like recorded in someone's bedroom. But it's controlled, you know? Faux-fi. Let's adopt that. That's a human race. Faux-fi. Fee-fi, faux-fum, faux-fi music. But yeah, Navy Blue, one of my favorites. One of my favorite Charlotte Lawrence songs, I think overall. She's very underrated. Next up, King of Everything by Dominic Fike. 35 million streams. However, when people think of Dominic Fike, they think of Three Nights. You looked at your friend Joe. Again, do we have a friend Joe? Are you Joe? Comment if you are. But King of Everything by Dominic Fike. What I love about this song is it's kind of autobiographical. And I find that there are certain songs in people's discographies that stand out to me. And this was one of them. This is a song that you have to listen to for like a minute before the lyrics kick in. So I feel like that contributed to why it's so underrated. But give it a listen. It is so good. It's kind of just, I mean, I don't know what it's about, but it's got this like king of the house type of vibe where you're like, I'm home alone. You know, I have free reign. I can like drink kombucha. All right, but anyways, King of Everything, really nice. I love Dominic Fike's guitars, always. He really kills it with his guitars. And when you look at the credits on this song, performed by Dominic Fike, written by Dominic Fike, produced by Dominic Fike. So, you know, he's one of my favorite artists right now. We have one more song in this video. And let me know if you want to see more of these. I kind of have a running list of underrated songs, so I could just keep going. The most underrated song that is almost at 100 million plays is the song Amoeba by Clairo. That song is one of the best songs that I've heard in the past 10 years. It's so original. The lyrics are genius. It's like she had some sort of inspiration that day, like divine intervention to write that song. And someone else that's on the track who I also think is a very goated human is Jack Antonoff. So the two of them combined made one of the greatest songs in the past 10 years. And when you listen to Clairo's music, you might be like, You might not like it, on the first listen. Clairo is very nonchalant when she sings, kind of indifferent, stoic even. But I think that plays into this song and this album. The album is called Sling. It came out during the pandemic, and it was a very timely concept album about, living with your, like the themes that were in the album, like living at home with your parents or, the individual life in a city. And when you leave home versus when you are established in your own life and reach this massive success but you're still craving home. So the lyrics in this song, genius. I found it interesting that it starts off with this music that really like helps orient the listener like into this world, the Clairo cinematic universe. You're like somewhere in the woods maybe. That's what it sounds like to me. Like you're like in Winnie the Pooh, but like the revival series. What did I just say? So it starts off with between the gaps, I was swimming laps, got close to some epiphany. I don't know if she intended it this way, but it was like, to me, like between the gaps, like when you're like, if you're in college and you're going home, and then you're like, what now? Like I have this other life, and then I have my home life, and then I have. What else is interesting is she says, we'll gather to our corner of the woods, echo chambers inside a neighborhood. That was brilliant to me. And then this is cool too. In centerfold, humility shown, you're not as good as what your mama's sown. And I was like, ooh, that hurts. Cause it's like in centerfold, like you're like reaching this massive success outside of home. And then humility shown, like you feel like you miss your family, like or you feel like, you could have all of these material things, but is it as good as your family? That's how I'm taking it. I could have gotten it completely wrong, but and then the next line that follows is, "Aren't you glad that you reside in a hell and in disguise?" But she sings it really fast, so it almost sounds like she's saying, "Aren't you glad that you reside in a high line in the skies?" So it's like hell in disguise, high line in the skies. Nobody yet everything, a pool to shed your memory. And that brings it back to the pool in the beginning where she was swimming laps. And it's like nobody yet everything. Like she's living this very surface level life. And she talks about a lot of things that people in Gen Z are facing in this one song. She says, I'll convince myself when it turns to 12. The photos keep the sentiment. So it's that idea that everyone's talking about recently. When you take a photo, why do you take the photo? What do you get from it? And why is it this notion that like we have to take a photo to remember something? I am the guiltiest person for that. I'll still do that. I love taking photos. It's gonna happen. But yeah, I think that song is one of the best songs in the past 10 years, not only for production, for originality, and for it being a voice of a generation during a specific time period. So yeah, those are some of the underrated songs. If you want to see more of that, let me know in the comments. If you want to see what I'm listening to, follow me on Spotify, and please follow my New Music Friday Top 5 playlist. I update it every week. I'm more consistent on it than I am on YouTube or any other social media platform. It is one of my favorite things to do. I started it during 2020, and it literally brings me joy doing it. So, 5 songs, changes every week. And when I'm done with the 5 songs, I throw them into an archival playlist. So there's also that. It has hours upon hours upon hours of content. So that's here too if you want to follow that. And, all my socials are in the description. And I will see you guys soon. Now that I've talked so much that it's nighttime now. Whoa. Wow. Okay.